One, two, three. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brett Keane from God TV Radio. Make sure you check out my website, godtvradio.com. Earlier today, I was trying to play some Elder Scrolls. Met a really cool person who was helping me out, added me to a guild. Seemed like a real nice person. He was chatting with me on the broadcast. Make sure you check that out. I'm about to put in my headphones, that way Mr. Dubs and others don't echo when they're talking to me. The pain in the ass of podcasting, right? Alright, so how's your day been, Mr. Freak and Mr. Dubs?
Going well. Everything's okay. What about you guys? Everything all right on your end?
It's going alright. So I was looking at your Amazon wish list, Mr. Dubs.
Uh,
What are
you
some...
have? I hope. I hope it's anything hateful, nothing nasty on it.
No, not nasty at all. I think you got some really nice things here, and hopefully people will go check it out. You want to put your link out in the live broadcast, and hopefully people go over and buy you some toys or something?
Sure. Thank you, Brett. I appreciate it. You didn't have to.
No, it's all good. So, Mr. Freak, how you doing? Some people, of course, want to be up to date on how things have been going with, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, my daughter. I'm doing well. Went to church today. Everything was great. Went to visit my mom, family. So that's always a good thing. I came home and I just packed. I'll be leaving tomorrow. I got to be at the airport at 10:20 to go be there for her surgery. So we're on track for everything. So that's pretty much what I have going.
Sweet.
So you away from everything for the next three days or so. So if I seem absent, that's where I'll be. I have more pressing issues to deal with. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So I've been trying to get some different interviews with folks. I attempted to get an interview with somebody, and it's turning out to be a complete asshole mess. And I'm also trying to get Scotty and Ben on an interview. We did kind of a silly impersonation video. What do you think of that?
I didn't see that one yet, but I want to make a recommendation for you.
Hmm.
You seem like you're, I don't know, it's like an avalanche of interviews. They're great. It's a great idea, but if you consider not doing them in such a rapid fire succession, I mean, it would be great for you to advertise that you're putting it up, and prep people. Let people kind of get worked up for it. Otherwise, give it another 3 or 4 days, you're going to run out of people high interest to really interview. So I would just say slow down on the DP guys and the people savor it a little bit.
Right. I hear you. It makes perfect sense. Yeah, I could do that, but I can always record the interviews and then schedule them to appear later on my YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's a great idea. That's what I'm saying. It would suck for you to put out all these interviews within a week and a half, 2 week period of time. And then all of a sudden you're sitting there like, how many, who else am I going to interview that's interesting? You seem to have hit a vein of interest. People are, liking to watch this and it's getting conversation. Don't fire your whole salvo right away. Take your time with it. Enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with it. Don't blow the load all at once.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was looking for a cleaner way to say it.
Right. Yeah. Leave it to the New Yorker, right?
Yeah. So that's cool. I also would carefully. I would advise you to be careful. No one wants to see 25 advertisements for gonna interview Scotty. That would be a little bit annoying, but if you put 1 or 2 advertisements up through the week, then maybe at the end of the week put up an interview. Right there, that's a month's worth of entertainment for people, and they get to look for it like another installment, another episode.
Brett's over there. Brett's over there typing away, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Brett has to take notes. He's like, this is shared brilliance, this Jezuzfreek. Wow, what great ideas. Let me type this down furiously. It's probably not what he's typing, but hey, that's what I'm going to delude myself and say.
Is there something we should know, Brett? You're typing away there like a gorilla in heat.
Well, you get people who contact you in Skype and they want to type. I don't want to just pull anybody and everybody in unless that's what they're wanting, you know.
Yeah, I hear you.
All right, let's see the text chat out here. Let's see if we've got any fascinating people.
Either of you guys are football guys, are you?
I don't know. Something about a bunch of guys bent over wearing tight pants that just don't do it for me, Mr. Freak.
You like them when they don't have the pants on.
Oh, that is fucking bigoted.
You set yourself up for that.
That's rough.
I'm a huge Alabama Crimson Tide fan. I would just like to let the audience know. Roll Tide, Alabama, Southeastern Conference champions in the conference playoffs, one of 4 teams. We might have another national championship to add to the trophy case.
I hear you. I think it's best that I don't watch football anyway, and the reason why is I believe that I have a curse, Mr. Freak. Anytime I watch the St. Louis Rams or the Cardinals, they always ended up losing. And as soon as I stopped watching, everybody's like, damn, they're heading for the Super Bowl, Brett. I'm like, oh, I see. And even though I got excited, I didn't want to blow it for them, so I didn't watch.
Yeah, I feel that way sometimes, but then reason kicks in, and I realize that, the will of God, is not affected by my watching. And I'm not saying God's will affects football games and such, but I'm just thinking, cosmically speaking, if the universe was in control of things, and if somehow it was like, oh, Jezuzfreek is watching the game, so let's let him lose, that'd be pretty messed up. So I don't think I have that much power that could sway, fate and destiny. So I just enjoy it for what it is. But it does suck watching them lose. So something I haven't had to do for a long time with Alabama. They've been kicking butt. Just in case you don't know, they've won 4 national championships like the past 8 years, and they might be going on their 5th one.
The only sport I really follow is baseball. Not a big football guy. I don't mind throwing the pigskin around a little bit. It's fun.
Looks like somebody's trying to call.
Yeah, you try to call in, you can't get through. That happens to me all the time. You have a broadcast going, I can't fucking make it in somehow. It's.
Let me see if I can. Okay, let me see. Oh, looks like we've got Mr. Fakesagan. Trying to get him to call in. Hey, what's going on there, sexy sodomite?
Hey, what's going on, beautiful?
There you go.
Who am I on with? Who's all the peoples that are up in here?
You got Dubs and the Freak so far.
Cool.
Let me see if Mouzie wants to get in. Our token atheist Jew.
I love the Jews. I have nothing but admiration for the God's chosen people, man. You know that.
Fakey, I want to ask you a question real quick, bro. I watched your video.
Is this Jay? Oh no, this is Jezuzfreek. Okay, my bad. Yeah. Go ahead, ask me a question. I'm sorry.
This is the big mouth. Yeah, I watched your video about you needing a computer and stuff like that. Of course, tugged at my heartstrings, and I'm not going to try to guilt trip. I mean, not guilt trip. I'm not being guilt tripped, but I still do feel guilty that I accepted that money knowing I didn't know that you were in that tight situation. We talked about this.
Yeah.
But I still feel like maybe there's something. Maybe I could. Would you be offended if I made a video asking people to donate something in your, to your cause? I'm not saying it's going to be successful or anything, but I was going to make the video last night, but you don't have the GoFundMe setup that I knew of or the PayPal.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say, man. Like, I'm going to set up a Patreon. All I got to do is, like, now that I know that they have these Patreon EBT cards or debit cards or whatever the hell they are, I'm going to hook that shit up later, but I'm not even worried about e-begging right now. Honestly, the foremost and first thing on my mind.
Well, before you get to, don't push me aside for a second.
No, I'm sorry. All right.
Just a favor, when you get that ready, let me know, because I would love to make a quick video asking them. I don't know if they're going to help or not, but at least I can ask. I feel like it's a small token to return a favor. So please make sure I'm one of the first people to know, so that way I can advocate for your cause. Okay?
Yep. I'll make sure to get you in on my e-begging activities, and you can be part of all the e-begging fun. I will do for you what TJ did for me on 666, baby.
Okay, good.
You
okay,
can put a gun.
my-
You can put a gun to your head and cut yourself, and make sure people give me all the cash, all the Skrilla.
I'm not going to do that for you. Okay, I will not put a gun to my head.
I thought you were my friend, man. What the hell? That's what friends do.
I am. I'm just a friend that has common sense.
So now, hold on. Pardon me for 1 second. I've heard the name Jdubs a million times. I've seriously heard people talk about Jdubs a bunch, but I don't know Jdubs. Don't be offended. I have my head up my own ass. I'm always like ego tripping and making my own videos and doing my own thing. Like, does somebody want to? I mean, if Jdubs yourself, do you want to like introduce yourself and tell me who you are and kind of the basic gist of like?
Just just good that you don't know me. It's better that way, actually. Less
Okay.
problems, right? You know what I mean?
Less problems for you, maybe.
Sure.
I don't see how it would be a problem for me unless I mean, what's the
I don't know how you don't know about me. I'm Brett's son. How can you not know Brett's son? You don't know all his children?
I don't. I mean, me and Brett talk on the phone for hours every day, but there's a lot of stuff he doesn't tell me. So I don't.
I'm more offended about Brett not telling you than you not knowing, I think.
How can you not know about Jdubs? We've done a bunch of telethons trying to raise money so we could buy a couple extra chromosomes for him.
Did you happen to do those telethons during my like 3-year-long hiatus? Because I don't think I saw any of them.
So, Jdubs is all right. Just messing with him.
Although
No,
I
I
am
just
missing a few
feel out.
chromosomes.
I feel out of the loop, man. I feel out of the loop. There's people here I don't know. I'm just trying to get myself up to speed, so I'm not in a room talking to a bunch of people that I don't know what the deal is. So.
Well, Jdubs, you want to explain to him the virtual thing? You want to tell him the story about it?
Brett has virtually adopted me. I'm literally Brett Jr. I mean, we become close over the years. It's almost as if he did adopt me. So we run with it.
So you're not a biological.
No,
Brett
we're
then?
not literally biological related. No.
Okay, then if he virtually adopted you, then you're virtually his son. You can't say literally.
Right, ones and zeros on a hard drive where genetically.
So I take it though that you do make videos on YouTube. If I type in Jdubs, like YouTube/Jdubs, I'm gonna find something. Yes.
I don't make political videos anymore. I do have a weekly religious hangout that I still do. That's
Okay.
towards Judaism, but I do mostly game videos with Brett and hang out with Brett most of the time. That's where you're gonna find me with like a collab video with Brett.
It may surprise you to know this, but I have a keen interest in the Jewish people, so I might go ahead and check you out.
Okay. Good. Okay. Fine.
I understand why. Now I understand why you were like, it's probably for the best that I don't know who you are. I get it. All right.
No, it's good. I mean, it's either way. Don't check it out. Check it out. It's good.
You better shut it down, bro. The goyim know.
The goyim.
Can can you guys hear me okay? My microphone broke, so I'm using my webcam mic.
Yeah, we can hear you, Mouzie. We can hear
Okay.
you. Yeah,
Sorry.
Jdubs, I've known him for years. He's really, really awesome, and he manages part of my channel, Games You Love, where he does video games and all that, and then he's got his own channel where he discusses Jewish subjects and topics, and yeah, he actually, Dubs, would you have a problem with me telling him how you got the Brett Keane Jr.?
Yeah, sure. If you want to explain to people, go ahead.
All right. Well, we were dealing with a guy a while back who's got a poop stain on his face. I don't know if I ought to say the name.
Coughlin.
Oh, damn, you're pretty good at trivia, aren't you? So what happens is Coughlin hated anybody that was friends with me at the time. and his fan base went after and attacked Mr. Jdubs. Jdubs never did anything but say he liked Brett Keane. That was a big mistake on his part, right?
Yeah.
So Jdubs, they encouraged him to do horrible things to himself, terrible shit. And I talked to Jdubs, and Jdubs is just a really wonderful guy. He stood up for me, he defended me, he was there for me through a lot of hell that I was going through, and he didn't have to. This guy didn't have to. He could have just went and played Hitman on fucking Nintendo or something. He didn't have to deal with Brett Keane, but he stuck with me through thick and thin, no matter what. This guy's he's a real friend.
Sounds like a real mensch.
mensch. Yeah.
Ah,
You said at the same time, yeah.
Shalom,
Good.
shalom.
Well, shalom is Hebrew, mensch is Yiddish.
Yeah, I like to mix you know, like polyamory. It's like Greek and Latin, so I
Sure.
like to mix my languages there. It's kind of a thing I do.
That's fine.
People out there saying they're loving the interviews. Make sure you check out the one where I'm interviewing Mr. Fakesagan, Mr. Christopher Anderson, and make sure that you guys subscribe and comment and rate to every one of the people that I've interviewed, including Jezuzfreek. I also did a kind of an interview with Mr. Jdubs on this channel that we're talking on right now. We're going to have to do a more extensive interview, though, Mr. Dubs, I think.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Gotta
One
do
day
it.
soon.
Gotta make it happen. Gotta interview with Mouzie. He did real good. It was real fun, real exciting. Learned a lot about my
I
my new
enjoyed
pal.
that one.
Mhm.
I enjoyed that one.
Where did Candy go? I see she's not on the screen anymore.
Well, I call people up, Mr. Freak, but it's up to them if they're actually going to answer. I'm just letting it to where they see that it's happening, and when they're ready, they can get up there. Uh-oh, Mr. Freak, something happened to your camera there.
I clicked it. It's good. Yeah, I thought Candy had came in on her own. She always adds a lot to the conversation, so okay. I didn't mean to derail. Keep going.
Okay, I got a topic.
All right.
The peanut is neither a pea nor a nut. Discuss. No, but seriously, so Jdub and Mouzie, did you guys see my Jewish question video? And what do you guys think? Do you think I'm a raging anti-Semite? I'm actually interested in what the Jewish community's opinion is of that video. I really want to know.
I've never seen the video, so I can't answer
I
that.
briefly. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, if you can just ask the question here, then I'm pretty sure I can answer it to the best of my ability.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why don't you just explain that? Since people are not gonna know out on the broadcast anyway, you might as well just briefly explain.
I might as well briefly explain.
Because I know you linked to a video. Someone did a song called like the Goy something.
Oh yeah, no, that was just a stupid Paul memes video. But
Oh,
like,
I thought you were doing
for
a
me to-
response video to that or something.
Oh no. That video really didn't have anything to do with mine. If you were asking me to explain my video briefly, I was about to say I can't briefly explain an hour-long dissertation about the influence of Jewish culture on host societies in the West. I mean, it would take an hour. It would take an hour. I'd have to replicate the video right here during a live chat, and I can't do that. But if you guys didn't see it, that's cool. But I was just like, I've honestly been wondering how a Jew would react to that video, because there's plenty of comments. The comment section is full. There's plenty of reactions to it, but it's all goyim, and I'm just kind of curious, like, how the Jews took that one. So I don't know.
So basically, what you're asking is, like, how do we feel about Jews having a strong cultural impact on Western society? That's basically the whole nutshell.
Oh
Oh,
no, it goes deeper than that. I mean, what it comes down to is, since you guys didn't see the video, neither one of you, you're not going to be able to adequately respond. So I guess I'll withdraw the question.
It makes me intrigued to know what's it about. Maybe I'll take a listen to it.
It's okay. I'll give you a Cliff's Notes version. I think I can manage that. It's essentially like a borderline crypto anti-Semitic, I suppose you would call it, even though I don't really feel it's that way, but some people did characterize it that way. Video about how I pretty much think that Jews kind of have an undue amount of influence on the banking system and media and blah 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 blah. But then I draw this conclusion that anti-Semitism is the incorrect reaction to that that issue, and I mean, it's complicated. You'd have to see the video.
I don't think that's anti-Semitic to say that Jews have an influence on the banking system or politics in general. That's just history. That's just reality. It's just the way it is. Is there something in particular? Is it wrong or positive, negative? What exactly in particular? I mean,
here again,
just people say that when someone says that Jews run the banking system, that's like automatically anti-Semitic. Is that what we're going for?
Oh no,
Well,
we're not going for that.
Well, I mean, when people say like the Jews control the bank, it's usually in a negative connotation. It's not usually a positive thing. I mean,
banks
I,
are. Sorry, go ahead. No, you.
I was saying like I've been in contact with a lot of white nationalists, and that's what the negative connotation that Jews control the media and the banks and in society in general, and usually as a negative aspect, and they see that as a negative aspect.
Why is it considered always a negative though? And let me offer this: if you talk about Hollywood, people automatically throw out, "Oh, Jews control Hollywood." I'm gonna tell you something. I like a lot of the movies Hollywood puts out, so I love it. If Jews make great movies, keep making movies. I love all the Marvel movies. I hope Jews keep making those till the day I die. So if I were to say Jews control Hollywood, am I meaning that negatively? No, I know I'm not. Could it be accurate? Could there be a disparity in the numbers of the higher percentage of Jews that run Hollywood? Certainly. So it's not necessarily a negative.
I think that the Wolverine would be a great Moyle because he could do like 4 brisses at the same time with those claws,
Oh,
well,
man.
To answer Jezuzfreek777 question, I think the reason why they hold a negative connotation to that is because they're white nationalists. Like they don't see Jews as white. Like I'm white as fuck, and Jdubs here is white as fuck as well, right? But they don't see us as white. They see us as some weird, fucked up hybrid mutant creature that needs to be.
Most people, I'm going to correct you though. Most people that are saying Hollywood is controlled by Jews aren't white nationalists. They're just people that realize that Hollywood is controlled by Jews. But you're using the white nationalist perspective to define what people in general mean, and that's not necessarily fair.
Yeah, that's not necessarily
that'd be like you saying KKK say white power, so they're white people, so white people mean white power in a negative way. No, we can't go to the extremes.
I disagree with you there, because the only people who are using that in a negative connotation are white nationalists.
You just heard me say I believe that there are a disproportionate amount of Jewish people probably running Hollywood, but that's not a problem for me.
But you said it in a positive manner. I stated clearly that they say it in a negative manner. You said it in a positive manner. That's the difference.
All right, guys, we got some new people into the Skype. We got Palm Jam. We also got looks like, is that apostate?
Yeah.
Goodness gracious, you're going to have to come up with a new name. I keep almost accidentally calling you prostate. So how you been?
A prostate.
Brett's projecting. He's saying he wants someone to give him prostate exam.
Dubs, you are projecting now. Come on, man. Let's go.
So you guys hear me all right on the side?
Yeah.
You gotta get closer to your mic. It sounded like wow, 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 almost like that interview me and Fake did earlier.
For what it's worth, I just want to throw this in super quick. Throw it in real quick. Super quick. I don't consider that Jews are non-white, but I do consider that the term white is a bullshit term because nobody can agree on what white means. So usually I'll refer to Jews and non-Jewish Europeans. That's the term I use, is like non-Jewish Europeans. Whatever. It's neither here nor there. But I just wanted to throw that in.
Sorry, Brett, what is your phone number for this Skype number? I don't know where to click to look. You just tell me what it is so I can type it in.
Oh, you're looking for the phone number of it?
Yeah, a friend of mine I want to invite in here. She doesn't know the number, I don't think.
Or are you wanting to get it through Skype or my actual phone number?
No, not your actual. You always advertise there's a phone number. Never mind. She just has to type in Brett Keane, right? To find you on Skype.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm
Yeah, Skype. Yeah.
I thought there was like a phone number also associated with Skype too. So forgive me.
Yeah, Brett has his number to Skype, doesn't he?
That's what I thought. I always see that number that you post on your videos.
But I think it automatically goes.
Shoot Skype.
I think that number is only used when you miss it, when you call him and you get an answer machine. I think that goes automatic.
Yeah, these are people that I'll call back and usually explain to them how to get Skype and all that stuff.
Can you just add people to the call?
Just so you know, Brett, a friend of mine called, her name will be Danielle. She's an atheist. She's pretty cool. She used to hang out in Stickham. I just invited her. If she contacts you, just let her. I'll just know that she's not a troll.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
I haven't seen her in years.
Well, here's the thing, guys. I don't feel as bad about just inviting people into the call. And the reason why is I can change the screen where it only shows the people I want on the screen. So I'm not worried about penises and tits flying and all that anymore. Unless, Freak, you have one of those moments, you know. Oh, he did it. He just did it. He just showed some tits. Jeez Louise, Freak. You're hairier than a Yeti. Jeez.
Damn, I think the glare from that fish belly white skin is going to damage your webcam lens there.
Hey, it is Chicagoland. It's wintertime. I'm allowed to have pasty white Caucasian skin.
And I'm allowed to criticize it because I'm even paler, so there you go.
Hey, Brett, real men have hair on their chest.
Oh, jeez. Shots fired. Shots fired.
Little hairy chest.
I better not see that in your intros from now on. Sexiest man alive, JF. I don't want to see nothing like that, Brett.
I hear you.
So, the reason I really want to come in here is to, I know I don't want to dull the mood, but I kind of had questions on Case's Jew video, which, as a religious person, kind of boggled me in some extent.
Who's speaking to me right now? Who is this person?
I go under Somnium in Skype, but this is just my personal Skype. My Google Plus name's The Apostate.
Okay. I mean, I guess I'll just, okay, hi, new friend. Yeah, I'll address your criticisms.
Guys, I'll be right back in a moment. I'm grabbing me something to eat. You guys are in full control over the Hangout now. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, after watching the video, I was still left. I didn't really feel like the Jewish question, so to speak, was answered, religiously speaking. You kind of just stated that there were chosen people and left it as is. Maybe it was just my perception of it, but I didn't really get that far.
Oh, yeah, you didn't get that far because I mean, okay, I understand it's an hour-long video, it's way TLDW, it's onerously long, it even says that in the description, but if you would have gotten to the last 20 or so minutes, I go into the fact that, I consider the Jews to be God's chosen people and how it feels to be a Gentile Christian and how I'm kind of jealous of the relationship that the Jewish people have with God and blah, 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 blah. I mean, I actually do address that at some length, so you just got to watch the whole thing, I guess, and suffer through my nasal voice for a whole hour.
The thing is, I did watch it. I didn't feel like it was answered. I didn't feel satisfied with the answer.
Okay, well, what was unsatisfying? I'm used to hearing this from women, but not so much from guys, so, yeah.
Well, I mean,
there you go.
even, I am religious, but I'm not a Christian. So maybe
Okay.
it's me not being a Christian thing. I don't get why secluding a desert tribe of people having a relation with God as them being the chosen people. I mean, besides originating the said religion, I don't think what's so chosen about them.
Oh, what's so chosen about them is the fact that the God I believe in, and if you're not a Christian or you're not part of some kind of Abrahamic faith, then you don't believe in the God I believe in. So this isn't going to make as much sense to you. But the God I believe in chose to reveal himself to the Jewish people first. I am Yahweh, whatever you want to call him. He revealed himself to the Israelites, and time and time again throughout history, he's chosen them to deliver his messages to. So there you go, chosen people.
Is that necessarily true? That's not necessarily true.
It's what I believe to be true. If you don't share,
Adam and Eve were Jewish?
Adam and Eve were no, but Adam and Eve were not privy to the revelations of God's plan. They were
Of
just
course
the
they
first
were.
human beings. They were the human beings created.
Of course they were.
Okay, what plans were they? What messages were they given besides?
Adam knew who the Mashiach was.
Okay.
I mean, it says in Judaism that God revealed everything to him, that he would know what the consequences of what his mistakes were in the garden were, that he ate from the forbidden fruit. He understood clearly what he would do was wrong or right. And God
Okay,
revealed
can I
everything to him. Yes.
Okay, can I interject here that I stated, I believe within
I mean,
the
that's
first.
the Talmud. I mean, that's the
Yep.
Babylonian Talmud. So as a Christian, you reject that as wrong. So, I mean,
Right,
I'm
right,
just
right.
saying that's not what, that's not a Jewish perspective wouldn't agree with that.
Okay. So what I stated within the first 10 minutes of the video, I believe, is that I am largely ignorant of Jews, Jewish culture, and Judaism, and I've never heard the term Mashiach before. So
Well,
you're
that's the
coming out of left
Messiah.
field for me with that. Okay.
That's
Okay.
proof
Well,
of Messiah.
all right. Well, there you go. I mean, yeah, news to me. Whoosh.
See, I take a different perspective than John. I would say Adam and Eve were not Jewish. I would say that until Israel was established, until God actually brought Israel out of their bondage and the covenant was established, there was no Judaism. There was just humankind.
Well,
I
that's
don't
not
believe
the question,
he
though.
he wasn't arguing that they are Jewish.
God only reveals himself through Jews and Jewish prophets, which is not true. God reveals himself to Gentiles and Gentile prophets.
No. Now I'm being mischaracterized here. I was about to try to save you from being misunderstood by Jezuzfreek, but now you're misunderstanding me.
I guess I misunderstood. Okay.
Okay, sure. No, we Christians, that is, consider that Jesus is a light to illuminate the Gentiles. The time when God only revealed his plans to the Jews is clearly over, and yet I feel they remain God's chosen people. Okay. What this probably comes down to is that your understanding of the Abrahamic faiths in general is more nuanced than mine is, and a lot of this comes down to ignorance. So, mea culpa, you win. There you
go. Another follow-up question.
Okay.
I believe the last word of the video. I might be paraphrasing you, but not exactly. To learn the Jew ways or tricks is to be more like.
Throwing back on the headphones.
I'm having difficulty hearing you. There's people eating chips
Brett's over there like.
I'm back.
And fucking grabbing on chips and stuff. I mean,
no, they're not chips. They're grapes, man. I just put the headphones on.
No. I think I did hear a little bit of what you said. You said something about like learning Jewish tricks makes you more like them as a Gentile or something. I never said anything like that in the video. What I actually did say, and I'll gladly repeat this in a room full of Jews, is that I feel that as a culture which must remain insular and guarded and keep to themselves and avoid race mixing in order not to be wiped out. Like, since Jews are such a small part of the global population, there's such a low level of Jewishness in the world. In order to maintain Jewish culture and Jewish identity, they have to keep to themselves. Hence, when they are guests in a host culture, they tend to deliberately try to seed ideas of liberalism, socialism, feminism, anything that will dilute ideas of nationalism, because nationalism poses a threat to a guarded, secretive, and insular subgroup. So there you go.
Yeah, I've been on the poll for a couple of years now, so I've heard that one times.
Sure, we all have. Yeah, it's textbook anti-Semitism. Yep.
Apostate, you need to check your audio options and see if you've activated your good mic, because whatever you're using sounds like you're talking to a webcam or something. Skype options, very hard to hear you. Any noise that is made while you're talking and you cut out. Damn, these are some good grapes.
Okay, since everyone's just gone dead silent, I'm gonna head upstairs and get a can of high fructose corn syrup, caffeine goodness. I'll be right back.
All right. All right, let's see what some of the people out here are saying in text chat. We got somebody saying, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently they're impersonating. The new interviews are good. Have you ever had cotton candy grapes? No, never even heard of that. That is odd.
You ever had fried Coca-Cola before?
Fried Coca-Cola?
Yeah, that's delicious.
No, I haven't had that either. That's odd, man. I live out in a country 17 miles south of St. Louis. We don't got all kinds of weird shit like that yet.
How do you fry Coca-Cola without I mean, I can only assume that you boil the water out of it and then take the residue and somehow coat it and fry it. But maybe there's another way. How do they fry Coca-Cola?
I never made it, so I'm just like explaining the very layman term of it. Basically, you set it to a very, very high deep fried temperature, and then you freeze Coca-Cola essentially. Like you deep freeze it until it's like a kind of like an ice cream essentially, and then you put the batter on and then you deep fry it. And it cooked really, really fast, so it doesn't melt the things inside of it. And then there you go, deep fried Coca-Cola.
That sounds like the dumbest, most pointless thing I've heard of in a long
time. Let's see if this person's going to join us. Veckel, are you alive out there?
He said he's on a lunch break.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, hey, how you doing there, Veckel? You gonna let me interview you one of these days?
Yeah. What's this interview thing that I keep hearing about now? You doing?
You haven't seen my interviews? Jezuzfreek, who have I interviewed so far?
Can I answer his question?
Sure.
What is this interview thing? This is brand new, weird concept of someone asks you a question and then you answer it. I know, bizarre. What kind of question is that, Beckel? What kind of question is that?
Well, you know what kind of question it is.
A dumbass one. Yes, okay.
Well, Mr. Freak, who have we interviewed so far? That you've seen?
Well, you interviewed Fakesagan, you interviewed Candy, you interviewed Jdubs, you've interviewed TJ, the Amazing Atheist, yours truly, Tommy from the Bronx. Quite a number of people.
Not Tommy yet. Tommy still hasn't done the interview.
That's how you're going to.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, Veckel, are you going to do his interview?
Yeah, sure. I'm probably the best time would be either this coming, either tomorrow or Tuesday. Out of the two, probably Tuesday would be the best. But I can do Monday. Just depends on what time.
Just tell me when it's good for you.
Yeah. Well, depending on how late you do it, I could probably do it as early as tomorrow as anytime before 5:30, or as late as anytime after 10.
Can I help you out, Veckel? Between now and then, brush up on postulates and theorems. Make sure you really brush up on your trigonometry, cosine, sine, tan, all that. Also brush up on obscure third world languages and locations, because Brett asked some real MFer questions. I mean, they're hard.
Yeah, so basically between 5 and 10, I'm not free. Let's just put it that way. 5 p.m. and 10 p.m. I'm not free tomorrow.
I feel like Veckel's not taking me seriously.
Yeah.
What did I miss?
No, I'm just slightly distracted by looking at other stuff too. So.
Okay. I'm working hard to get a laugh from you. You're just like all dismissive. Like, yeah, whatever, dude. Shut up. Okay, I get you.
No, I'm just yeah. My mind is like everywhere else. So.
It's okay. Who is Stephen Bashir?
Yeah, he keeps on trying to call everybody. I don't know what his deal is.
He keeps
that's what
to me
was
saying
going
he
on.
wants you to unblock him.
Well, he doesn't actually join the call. I'm not wanting to look at two different text chats at the same time. He's actually got to use a microphone. In 2016, people. Microphones, yeah.
All right. My mic level should be higher. I raised them.
There you go. Yeah, you're coming to a bit better.
Who's that talking?
The apostate.
Oh, which apostate?
The apostate.
Oh, is that your YouTube name, or you calling yourself? Oh, okay.
I'll tell you what, if you guys want an interesting conversation, I can kind of set things on fire just simply by asking Apostate to describe his views and stuff. He's got some very interesting subject matter here.
I was about to ask. I was actually very curious as to what your religious disposition is, your philosophical disposition.
Well, we
Sure.
know he's apostate, so
Yeah.
hold
Yeah. Basically, I'm a Roman traditionalist and Roman pagan reconstructionist who follows the European pietistic worldview of antiquity Europe, specifically Roman.
So who's your patron deity? Ares, Poseidon, or no, that's Greek. My bad.
Hey, can I interrupt real quick? I talked to that guy, Stephen Brett. He says he's under the impression that you invited him on the show 3 days ago. He seems like a decent guy talking to me just now. He wants to know if you'll if you'll broadcast him, whatever. So I told him I would beseech you and ask for your.
I'll do it, but he's going to have him a microphone. I'm not going to sit there and read text chat and all that.
My favorite is Pallas Athena, by the way. Like if I was going to follow one of the Roman pantheon, that would be it because, yeah, she's the one that rewards, I guess. Or no, that's also Greek, isn't it? Fuck, I always screw up when in Greek. Fuck.
It is actually. I get confused once in a while. The answer, my patron god is Jupiter, which is Jupiter.
Jupiter. Okay. Well, yeah, that's the obvious one, I guess, isn't it? King of the
God
gods.
of the god. Come on.
Right, yeah.
I did actually.
I feel like that's a cop out, though. I mean, aren't you supposed to have a patron deity that like relates to your trade or your craft or what you're good at? I don't know.
Well, not necessarily. To have Jupiter as a patron deity is to have Jupiter best and greatest as a patron deity, which kind of actually does answer the question. Yes, I devote a lot of my time to the Roman tradition ideals, and having the head of Roman traditional religion ideals it coincides with my life.
Okay, all right. So do you speak Latin?
I try. Yes, I'm learning Latin. Classical Latin. Learning grammar. I've kind of got pronunciation pretty well.
Yeah, I find it really interesting that Latin is no longer a dead language, and that through recent scholarship, they actually do know how these words were pronounced and how the language sounded when it was spoken. So.
Yeah, at least nobleman. Vulgar is kind of still assumed. We might have an idea what it sounds like, but when I speak my rituals, Aue Lupitoptimus Maximus, it's High Latin. It's the nobleman's Latin.
I'm impressed. I'm officially impressed right now. So congratulations.
I can say a few words. I can recite a few poems in Latin. Sex poems, but I don't think you want to hear that.
Yeah, I'm sure I do.
Well, let's hear one, man. Do it. Let's hear it.
Just a second.
All right. Let's see what's going on in text chat. Let's see if the zoo animals are being friendly. Now,
Looks like Tommy from the Bronx are in the comment section.
Well, I'm trying to invite Tommy to the call. He actually has to hit accept and then come into the call.
That doesn't always work. You accept me into these calls, and then I can't get in sometimes. It doesn't let me accept.
Well, I'm going to try to invite him to the call, and then he'll get to hear a wonderful poem in Latin.
Case, I'm going to tell you the Latin one first, and I'm going to link you the English one. I think you're going to love it. It's called Catalyst 16. Haide cabo ego wolf setirum mambo. Aureli patike escinadio furi. Quimex vesculis meas putas. Quod sut moleculi parum pudicum. Nam castum esse decetium poetum. Ipsum verisculos nihil necesset. Quitum denique habent salam ec leporum. Si sunt moleculi ac parum pudici. Et quod prurati in catarde possunt non dico porris sitis pilosus qui doros dequente moere lumbos vos quod milia multa basorum legistis Male me parem putastis. Pedi cabo ego vose romambo. And scene.
Goodness
I
gracious.
am in nerd heaven right now, which is a much better place than nerd hell. You know, I was actually in the Latin club in high school, so this this was a great moment for me. Thank you, thank you.
I linked you the. I'm sorry, that's the Latin version. The English version, if I don't think it's appropriate for me to read on stream, even though I'd love to. It's my favorite poem of all time. It's very disgusting. A lot of curse words, a lot of innuendo.
I mean, maybe I should be. Maybe I'm kind of like a bad Christian, but I just haven't learned how to be uptight about sex yet. I'm working on it.
Well, the first line is, I will sodomize you and face fuck you, bottom up or else you clamided fuck. You who think because of my poems are sensitive, I have no shame. For it's proper for a devoted poet to be moral. Himself, in no way, is unnecessary for his poems. And in point of fact, these have wit and charm, if they are sensitive and a little shameless, and can arouse an itch. And I don't mean in boys, but in those in hairy old men who can't get their cock up. Because you read my countless kisses, you think me less as a man, I will sodomize you and space fuck you.
You know what this actually reminds me quite a bit of is I was reading about I was reading a Wikipedia article about the Greek god Priapus, and how
he's Roman, not Greek.
Right, Roman. See, I told you. I always do it. I transpose the two every fucking time. It's like flawless. Anyway, I'm sorry, I just swore, Brett. Anyway, but apparently farmers used to post signage on the borders of their land with threats to trespassers that invoked Priapus, and they would say things such as my cock is made of the eternal cypress, which knows not the ravages of time. What is it? Young boys, you will be sodomized.
Yes.
Your asshole will be so stretched you will think it never had wrinkles in it. For the bearded man, there awaits another punishment. And it's just like it goes through every person who might trespass on your farmland, like whether it's a girl, a boy, a grown man, a grown woman, and it like different ways of how you will be fucked by Priapus's cock. And
I actually saved a lot of that. My favorite one is whoever who's taking a shit on my sidewalk, I will rape your asshole with the aid of Priapus.
Goodness gracious.
How do you not love Romans? I mean, like even like when they're uptight and very moral with themselves, like, they can still have fun.
Okay. I have a question for you. Since I have you here, and I know I'm going to lose this opportunity. The Warren Cup, real forgery? What do you think?
The what?
The Warren Cup. Do you think it was real, or do you think it was a forgery?
I don't really know, to be honest.
Okay. All right. Cool. So for those that don't know what we're talking about, there's this antique silver chalice which depicts lots of homosexual acts on it, which may or may not be from the late ancient Roman period, or it may just be a forgery from the Middle Ages, and it's made its way through museum collections, private collectors. There's a lot of debate about it, so I just
the reason I say it, I don't know if homosexuality was allowed back then in a dominant form. It's not, you can have sex with a guy and no one will really look down on you, but when the Catholic Church got into power, they over exaggerated it. They're always fucking guys. Like at every sacrament, there's anal fucking. That's not the case. So it could be gross, over-representation of homosexuality or just some weirdo's collection. I don't know. We don't know.
Yeah, even a lot of
exactly. We don't. But I thought maybe you did, because you seem to be very, very erudite when it comes to ancient Rome. So. That's just why I wanted to pick your brain.
Even a lot of Roman emperors practice homosexuality. They usually have at least one boy concourse, or whatever you want to call them. A lot of them did. I believe one of them was kind of like, what the fuck, because he refused to have like a boy servant to have homosexual relationship. But then he's right. Romans back then, you could have homosexuality like with slaves, and as long as you were in the dominant position, but it was extremely frowned upon for any Roman men to have be the submissive, so to speak.
Yeah, that's how the sexual relationships work. They're dominant, submissive. Doesn't matter whose hole it was.
Yeah, it was the same with Greek pederasty. It was okay for men to have sex with boys, but not for grown men to have sex with one another. Although an exception was made where they said if you raised the calf, you could carry the bull. So I don't know. Interesting topic.
Yeah. This, can we say that this topic ran its course?
We can always talk about the weird things around.
No, let's not. Let's talk about something fun.
Uh-oh, what happened?
Oh well, I mean, we could talk about the Greek slingers who often put like they didn't use rocks; they used little kind of metal casted like balls to throw at the enemies. And a lot of time they would write like "ouch" or "nice catch" or like "take this," and they write it on these slingers ammunition. And so a person gets hit in the face with this thing, and then he picks it up, and it says "nice catch," and then he gets mad and upset. Kind of a neat little touch.
Yeah, they were the first shit posters.
Okay, favorite Roman emperor. Go.
It's going to be really contrived. It's Augustus. I mean, you're kind of expecting that one.
For me, it's Caligula. I mean, he's just the most interesting.
His origin story is kind of sympathetic with a lot of the Mad Emperors.
Oh no,
I agree.
declare war on the fucking sea. I demand you to stab the sea and take the seashell as boundaries.
Well, that's kind of a that's kind of a myth. Yes, he did declare war on the sea, but it was symbolic. Like, I declare war on the sea for my future conquest of Britannia. It wasn't literally declaring war on the sea. It was more or less.
I know, but I mean, he was still kind of maddish a little bit. I mean, I'm kind of weakest. So go ahead.
He was more of an asshole than that. I mean, him like having all the senators' wives like get raped. That was more of a thing than a.
You guys still there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
Sound
I'm
like
here.
going dead quiet.
Just
for
not
me.
in particular conversation, you know.
Oh,
I,
yeah.
don't know, I would consider Tiberius to be probably the most tyrannical of the Mad King, in my opinion.
He's really, if you read Suetonius, whatever's brought up is pretty. He's actually really sympathetic in his early. I mean, like, you actually kind of feel bad for him, the shit he went through when he was younger. I mean, like, he's likable. He really is. Like, he was a good guy.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Roman history is kind of my weakest point. I'm mostly African and Asian kind of dude. That's like my strongest point in history.
Yeah, Middle Ages I want to get into, but they're really complex. I mean, it's not that they're complex. They're just so scattered and like, I don't know where to start.
I guess my strong suit would be the history of the Crusades. I've read a lot about that.
I would start with the Black Death because that completely changes the social structure of medieval Europe in a kind of ironic, beneficial way. So I would start from that and then kind of move down so you can see how medieval Europe really changed before and after the Black Death. That's a really good point.
I took a Black Death class in university. It was like medieval history special focus Black Death. It was fucking awesome.
Well, that's why it's fascinating that something so catastrophic can actually benefit it for the greater good of the European population. It created the middle class. It created more demand for artisans and craftsmanship. It allowed you to have higher wages. The nobility was completely fucked in every way. So you see a larger increases of democratic ideas. The population was at the verge of starvation before the Black Death because even noblemen at the time had trouble getting food. So when it's bad, when even the richest fat cats of the European countries had struggles getting food, and so
yeah.
So
sorry.
That's it basically. Like it's a lot beneficial than the negatives. Nothing was great, but I mean, better than slow starvation and turmoil warfare.
And one out of every 4 people you knew was dead overnight.
Well, depending on the area. I mean, the Jews were pretty okay.
Well, I find that after the Black Death, a more controlled power within the church is completely strange. I mean, is that the case after the Black Death? The church has more power.
After the Black Death, that's how the Renaissance began, because people was like, man, we were Christians, and now this happened. Like, what the hell happened, right? And so they turned away from the Roman Catholic Church, and then started to become more interested in science and technology and other areas. And then that also created the wave of Protestant because of the Renaissance, because with the printing press, Martin Luther was like, motherfucker, Catholic Church be like retarded. And so you see the revolutionizing of the Reformation from the Catholic Church and created the Protestant.
Fucking heretics. Just had to say it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right, guys, I'll be back in a moment. My wife just got back from the store, so I'm going to go talk to her for a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and have it to where you guys are taking over, all right? Yay! And every once in a while, check out the text chat. That way you can sit here and have a wonderful conversation with these people. All right, off goes the headphones. Here we go. Oh, goodness.
Case, I have an...
Wait a second. Looks like it may have froze.
People are saying that Brett looks sad or he needs
Make sure
a
that you
nap.
do the microphone before you walk away, Brett.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, people in the comment section are saying Brett needs a nap and he looks terrible. I think it's to talk about sodomy and however you want to put it, faggotry. It's not really a particular favorite subject. So
some people can't hang, but let me just say this, and you know, I don't care who it offends and whose feelings get hurt. I really think if you shy away from the topic of homosexuality, you've got to be a little bit gay, and it's just kind of makes you uncomfortable for that reason. I'm gonna put that out there. I really believe that. Like if you're just like, oh no, but don't talk about that gay shit. I find that distasteful. It's like, well, what are you enjoying it a little bit too much? I mean, what's going on?
I disagree with that. I think you should.
What you misunderstand, Christopher, is you guys have picked a conversation that is interesting to three of you. That is a very niche conversation. You have to really be into Roman history and all that, and Greek history and such. So then when all of a sudden the sexuality component comes in, it goes from being a slightly uninteresting topic for people to a more uninteresting topic. So that's what it is.
But wait. The central theme of your life and your existence is Christianity, right? How can you be a Christian and not be into Greek and Roman history? Christianity is nothing but Greek and Roman history.
Well, I mean, I kind of disagree with that. Well, if you're a Catholic, that's the case, yeah, but...
Right, yeah.
I assume
I
that,
always forget.
I assume that Jezuzfreek is mostly a
I'm not denominational.
Right. I always forget.
Don't get me wrong, I like the history to a degree, but I'm just offering the. Anyway, I said what I said. So
no. That was lazy thinking on my part. You know, okay, I was raised Roman Catholic, and now I'm converting to Greek Orthodoxy. So, yeah, I mean, for me, I guess for me, that's what Christianity is all about, not necessarily for every Christian. So,
but wait, I mean, the thing with the Greek Orthodox Church is that the Orthodox Church is a separation of the Roman Catholic Church. You're just an Eastern Roman Catholic, essentially.
Oh no, sir, no. I
think the other way around. I don't know. Like I mean, that's the thing. Like maybe I'm wrong in the definition. No. Well, hold on. Look, maybe I'm wrong in the way I said it, but I still think that I'm correct in saying that it was a split of the Roman Catholic Church, and therefore you believe in other things different from the Roman Catholic. It's not like the Protestant. Go ahead.
Oh, sir. Okay. Oh, did I lose you? Did I?
No, I was done. Like I was just saying, like I might have worded it wrong, but I'm saying like it literally the Orthodox Church is a split of the Roman Catholic Church.
No. Okay, can I please respond? Please. I beg.
Yeah, go ahead.
Catholics, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay. No. Let me respond. Okay. So, for the first 300 years of Christianity's existence, there was just one church. Okay, there was just one Christian church, and that was it. Now, that moved off into the 5 holy seats of the Christian church. Okay, and those were Alexandria, Rome, Constantinople. Let me see if I can remember the other ones. Antioch, Jerusalem. Okay, okay. So you're with me so far, right?
Yeah, just keep going. Like, yep.
Well, everybody went quiet. Sometimes when everybody goes quiet, I think my Skype is cutting out, and I just got kicked out of the conversation
I
because
think it's
that
got quiet
we're
because
just being
everyone's
quiet.
getting ready to hang themselves in the coat closet.
I don't have a closet yet. Well, I think no one wanted to just interrupt you, so just go ahead.
Okay. So for the first 1,000 years, there's something that's called the One Holy Catholic and Apostolic Church. Now, the fact that the word Catholic is in there doesn't have anything to do with being Roman. The word Catholic means universal. Okay, and then in the year 1054, I believe, is when the Great Schism happens, and that's where Rome breaks off. Okay, so the Greek Orthodox Church and all the other Orthodox churches, like Russian, Romanian, Georgian, the Coptic Orthodox Church, those are all still following the original holy tradition of the apostles. Okay, and then you get to, I think it would be the year 1517, and that's when Luther does his 95 Thesis, and the Reformation starts. So 1529 and the Church of England forms. And then the Romans start introducing their interesting and kind of fruity and heretical, in my opinion, doctrines of like way late in the game. Like, for example, the doctrine of the Immaculate Conception, which is the idea that Mary was born without sin. That comes in at about, I think it's, oh shit, when was it? 1850 something, 1855, 1854, somewhere around then. The dogma of papal infallibility comes in 1870. The point that I'm trying, I'm going to get these details wrong. I'm going to get these facts wrong, but it's such an erroneous conception that Eastern Orthodoxy is an offshoot of Roman Catholicism. It is exactly the other way around. Roman Catholicism is a heresy. They're the ones that broke off from the main church in 1054. What happened is the 5 seats all had equal power. But Rome was considered like the first among equals, right? That's actually where we get that saying, first among equals. And the Roman patriarch, he didn't have the power to hand down edicts and control how everybody else executed the faith. But when decisions were being made, he just had the loudest voice. And when the schism happened, basically that's when Rome said, I'm the head nigga in charge, and you guys are all going to fall in line. And Constantinople, Antioch, Jerusalem, and Alexandria just said, fuck you, no we won't, and you guys are heretics. And so anyway, there's my little rant.
Well, do me a favor, Christopher. Help me out, because you obviously know more about all that. I am not Catholic. I consider myself anti-Catholic. I respect Catholics as somewhat Christians, but I struggle with that. I don't like most of the heresies from the Catholic Church.
Neither do I. But what do you mean when you say Catholic? It's so important. It's so important.
When I say Catholic, I'm talking the Roman Catholic Church, the RCC.
Okay, then please don't call them the Catholic Church. Call it the Roman Church. Call it the Roman Church.
It's referred to as Catholic colloquially. You know that.
It's referred. No. It's referred to as Catholic in the West by ignorant people. I'm sorry. No. That's not shots fired. That's not shots fired. That's not shots fired. That's not shots fired. I'm not insulting you. I'm just saying there's this whole Western misconception that Catholicism means the Roman Church. It does not. The word Catholic means universal. And the Orthodox Church, we call ourselves the One Holy Catholic and Apostolic Church. That's what we call ourselves.
Well,
Now, Rome
okay.
makes the same claim.
Wait. Hold on before you give it along. I appreciate it. It's unnecessary. When I type in Catholic into Google for the definition, first word definition adjective, especially of a person's taste, including a wide variety of things, all embracing. Okay. Synonyms: universal, diverse, wide, broad. The number 2, of the Roman Catholic faith. Noun: 1, a member of the Roman Catholic Church. It may be Western, but that is the go-to expression. The dictionary defines Catholic as a member of the RCC, of the Roman Catholic faith. So we're splitting here. It's semantics.
I've been cut off again. I've been cut off.
Can anybody hear?
Nope. I can hear you, Mr. Freak.
Okay.
Case dropped, I think, his internet connection.
La 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 la.
I think I understand what Case is saying, is that it is like when you think of the Orthodox, you're breaking up really bad. Like when the Orthodox consider themselves, they consider themselves the Orthodox Catholic Church.
Hey, Mouzie, wait. When someone's having technical trouble, let's not talk. Let's let them get their stuff straightened out for a moment so we can keep checking. So let's all be quiet till he gets settled.
Yeah, but my Skype decided to cut out right when you were in the middle of saying whatever you were saying, so I guess just let Mouzie talk about what it is to be Orthodox. I give up. I quit.
You get the conversation back to what it was. I'm just saying, I'm not going to split hairs. I understand what you're saying, Christopher, but we can't dismiss colloquialism as Western ignorance.
Yes, we can. 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 Stop. Who made Google? Who is Google? What is Google? It's a Western company. It's a company made in the United States. Who made the dictionaries that you're referring to? Who made the dictionaries that you're referring to? Thank you. Mic drop. Bam. I'm done. I'm out. Peace. I just have to say it. I'm sorry. There's okay. All right, I give.
Well, I am back, guys. Did you miss me?
Yeah, I really miss you.
I know you did, Mouzie.
Well, my problem is whenever we go off on, we get caught up into semantics like this, which derails the conversation, pretty heavily. I want to say, I'm going to use the term Catholic in the colloquial sense of Roman Catholic. That should be an understood part of the conversation. I was wanting to ask what the huge dogmatic differences is between Eastern Orthodoxy and Catholicism as we know it under the RCC. That's really all I want to know. What separates the two?
A wide, enormous, yawning gulf of differences that are crucial. I mean, listen to me. I was raised Catholic. I know plenty about it. I know more about the Catholic Church than I do about the Orthodox Church because I was raised in it. I have a lot of experience with it, and I'm still taking catechism currently in Eastern Orthodoxy. It's night and day. Can
you humor me and give me the condensed Eastern Orthodoxy for Dummies outline of what the main difference is? Do me a favor. Give me 5 huge differences that are night and day, so that way I can at least have a foundation to rest upon.
If you will allow me to make a YouTube video about that later on, sure I can. I'm not going to be put on the spot in a Skype chat to talk about the differences between. I'm just not going to do it.
Okay.
Look. These are both ancient churches with thousands of years of holy tradition and scholarship related to them. I can't just rattle this shit off in 5 seconds. I can't do it.
Okay. I'm not putting you on the spot. That's fine. If someone were to ask me what are 5 major differences between Roman Catholicism and Christianity, I would say 1, we don't venerate saints. 2, we don't believe in transubstantiation. 3, we don't venerate the Virgin Mary. 4, we don't believe in salvation by works. And 5, we don't believe in the infallibility of the Pope or respect his position of authority. So that's all I was asking. Quick, blurbs. I wasn't asking for a long breakdown of the church or for you to defend your faith. as a ignorant person of Eastern Orthodoxy, I thought maybe you could just cast a little bit of light on what Eastern Orthodoxy included. But I guess I can go on
Okay,
Google.
sure. Okay, sure. Well, since you gave me a starting point, that changes things a little bit. Well, let me ask you this: not venerating saints. What do you mean that you don't venerate saints? What about John the Baptist or John the Forerunner, whatever you want to call him? Like, do you
We
venerate
don't,
that saint? Do you?
no, we don't venerate saints that are worldly human saints that are outside of the Bible. Sure, there's no veneration of John the Baptist within non-denominational. We don't believe that they have any authority above and beyond what they had in the Bible. I don't pray to John the Baptist. I don't need John the Baptist to act as an intercessor. All I know is I read about John the Baptist. I understand his place in history and his position with God to a large degree, but he's nothing more than another human being that was a sinner that needed God's salvation.
We consider the same thing. We consider the same thing. Orthodox and Catholics alike consider the same thing. So let me ask you this question. Have you ever asked another human being to pray for you? Have you ever asked a person that you know to pray for you?
Absolutely, but I will not ask Saint Michael or Saint Nick or whatever other saints there are.
Why won't you ask Saint Michael to pray for you?
There's no biblical call for it.
So there's no biblical call for you to ask Brett Keane to pray for you, or for you to ask
Actually,
Fakesagan to pray for you.
Bible does speak about praying together and communing together with like-minded believers. So
So you don't
thing.
So you don't believe it? Hold on. You don't believe in eternal life through Christ? Then you don't believe that that Christians who have moved on are still able to pray for you?
No, I do not believe that.
So you don't believe in salvation then? You don't believe in eternal life through Christ?
That's not what you just asked me. You asked me something completely different.
It is, and that's exactly what I just asked you.
No, let me answer. I believe in eternal life, but I believe that the dead are cut off from us, as the story of Lazarus, tells us that the dead are cut off. I believe that if I ask you, a fellow Christian, to pray with me, pray for me, that's acceptable because we are on even planes. We're equally minded. We should be equally yoked to a degree, and such. I'm not going to ask a dead person that may be living in eternity with God, who is separated from humanity. The Bible speaks of that. Those that are dead are not watching over us. They're not mollycoddling us. And I don't believe that I need them as an intercessor. You see, I cut out the middleman outside of this mortal plane. I go straight to God. That's how great God and Jesus is. I just go straight to him like, God, this is what I need. And God listens. I can pray to Jesus, but I don't need to pray to a St. Anthony to ask God on my behalf. Now, you get what I'm saying? There's a level there. Those are people that are dead and gone. Those people I cannot venerate. I cannot beseech their prayer. I just won't. I just go straight to God. I don't know. It's
See,
like
when you say that they're gone, I almost don't. Well, you will take offense to this. I guess I can't help that. I almost feel like I'm talking to an atheist. I mean, if you believe that they're gone, then that sounds like
I'm compartmentalizing it. When I say they're gone, they are cut off from this world. It's like my grandmother. She is still eternally going to live because she is with God, but she is cut off from this world. My grandmother is not seeing me struggle and pain because I believe that she's in the presence of God. She is not watching me struggle, watching me hurt, watching me sin. She is in a better place waiting for, ultimate judgment day, whatever. So
I believe, yeah.
Well, I got to bring something up real quick.
Sure. Okay, go ahead, Brett.
Well,
right. I want to rebut though.
Oh, I definitely want to hear you guys do this, but I was always under the inclusion that when people die, they remain dead until the return of Christ. I thought that they were all asleep.
That is where I was going. Either there's some argument.
Asleep.
There are schools of thought within Christianity that offer that once someone dies, that they don't realize it's like boom, you died, boom, you open your eyes, and it is judgment day. All that time passes without any comprehension of all that time. some Christians believe that your soul goes to God right after you die. If you're saved, you're going to go to be in His presence. I don't know of anything in the Bible that actually teaches that your spirit lingers around, other than the teaching of purgatory, that your soul lingers around watching what's going on. Grandma's looking out over you. She sees that you're hurt. She sees that you're struggling, and she's full of angst and sadness and remorse and guilt and all these bad things. The Bible
No.
about that. That doesn't necessarily exist like that. So when
Straw
I say
man, straw man. No, she's not full of angst and sadness because she's in heaven, but she is watching. Look, Jesus said, "I have created my church, and the gates of hell will not prevail against it." What is Christ's church? What is the church? Can you define what it is for me, please? Go. What is the church? What is the church?
May I respond to what you said about Jesus and the gates of hell won't prevail?
Sure.
Okay, so we're sitting here talking about the concept of hell. Are you sure that it actually put it forth in that context? The reason why I say that is because Jesus actually resurrected. He came from death, and some people see different forms of hell as the grave, such as Hades. Are you sure you didn't say Hades in this matter?
Is that for me or Jesus Freak?
Well, either one of you. I always got the impression, though, that people went to sleep until the return of Christ. I hate to use this kind of analogy because it sounds kind of silly, but like Fallout 4, the guy goes in the chamber, he sleeps until he wakes up 200 years later kind of thing.
So you're essentially saying that Christians who die go to Sheol, where they must remain until the second coming. So what is salvation then? What is eternal life through Christ? Because it sounds like neither one of you guys believe in that. Look, okay, let me just put this out there, all right? That Christ's church, what the church is, it's divided into two halves, okay? The church triumphant, which is in heaven, and the church militant, which is here on earth. And anybody who follows Christ is a saint. The term saint doesn't just mean the famous saints, the ones that are venerated, the ones that have icons, the ones that have holy days. Jesus Freak, you're a saint. Brett Keane, you're a saint. I'm a saint. Some saints obviously are more holy than others, but we're all saints. And you can ask a living saint to pray for you or intercede for you, and you can ask a quote-unquote dead saint to do the same thing, although they're not really dead. They're serving at the right hand of the Father. Now, hold on. I just want to move on to one more thing, Jesus Freak. You also said that you don't venerate the Virgin Mary. Okay, you said that, right? Okay, well, at the crucifixion, Jesus said to Simon Peter, he pointed to Mary and he said, "This is your mother." And of course, Peter was the rock, the church, right? So if Jesus was actually saying to the man who symbolically represented his church, "This is your mother," what did that mean?
It didn't mean that I need to pray to her. It didn't mean that she is...
I didn't say anything about praying to her, but you said you don't even venerate her.
Well, can I ask something real quick?
You don't have to debate the word venerate. Let me look that up. We get to
while you're looking that up, Mr. Freak, I do have to ask, and this I hope that this doesn't come off rough or anything like that, but since we already got Jesus Christ who resurrected and all that, why do we need to pray to anybody else for, or ask for the prayer of anybody else, whether they're dead or alive? Just go straight to Jesus.
You see, when it comes to venerate, we have a definition of regard with great respect, revere. Synonyms are also revere, regard highly, reverence, worship, exalt, vaunt, adore, honor. I do not worship Mother Mary. I will not exalt her. Great respect. Yes, we just spoke about this at church, our pastor did. I have respect in the sense that God found her in good favor. And that's great. That's a wonderful thing. But even Mary proclaimed that Jesus was her Savior, that God was her Savior. And the only people that need a Savior are people that are broken and fallen. Mary was a broken, sinful person, not a horrible, sinful person, because obviously she was pretty good, that God found favor with her and blessed her with, I mean, even when he tells her, hey, you're going to be with child, she does the wow instead of the how. I love the way the pastor said that today. So many times we ask God, when we find something out, we go, how? But instead we should be like, wow, and then ask how. So Mary, she's like, wow, she just totally accepts it and then says how. I don't venerate her in the sense of exalting her. I don't believe that I need to say, "Our Mary, full of grace," and do 10 Hail Marys and do all this. No, I don't need that. She is
Yep, yep.
just a human being that was flawed, that God saw as being good at a moment, that he had respect for her, like he had respect for King David, like he respected Moses, John the Baptist, and a host of other great people in the Bible that were tragically flawed. King David was tragically flawed, but he was still a mighty man to God because he had this dude. So I don't venerate King David in the sense. I don't venerate the Virgin Mary.
Yep.
I just respect that she's the mother of Jesus, the physical mother, but I worship and adore Jesus. I exalt him. I worship him, but not Mary. That's what I do. I don't venerate her.
I'm just gonna say right now, I feel like for every 20 words that you and Brett get in, I'm getting in too, so I guess I better make them count. But listen, the word worship should not be in the definition for venerate. So I take issue with whoever wrote that dictionary, even if it was Noah Webster himself. All right, but listen, we don't worship saints. The Catholic Church doesn't do that. The Orthodox Church doesn't do that. None of us do that. Okay, it's not about, you don't worship a saint. We pray to saints, but think of it as correspondence, like sending a letter or an email. We're talking to them. All right. Worship is reserved for Jesus alone. Worship is reserved for the Trinity, God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit, which of course are the same God, 3 in 1. I don't take issue with the rest of the words that were used to define the concept of veneration, showing great respect, showing great deference, adoration. So you don't have adoration for Mary. Well, let me ask you this. Do you accept the fact that she had the power to deny humankind our salvation? You know, God didn't have an alternate, right? There was not like an understudy waiting in the wings to be the Theotokos, the God bringer, the mother of the living God. There wasn't someone else. It was her choice, her free will. An angel came and said, "You will be the one that will bring forth the living God." And she said, "So be it with me. Let it be so with me." She made that choice. She could have said no. You don't think that deserves some respect and adoration?
Respect, but not veneration, in that sense of that I'm going to exalt her and put her in my prayers and such. No, I personally don't, because I go straight to Jesus. That's why it's a sticking point with Catholics or whatever, like say Roman Catholics. That's why I usually don't have a lot of discussion when it comes to Catholics, because they're very passionate about the veneration issue and all these other issues, and they have a great defense for it. But I see it as I don't know, idolatry of sorts. I'm not going to, and I can't, because Scripture never exhorts me to actually have any respect
Yes,
for
yes, it does. Yes, it does.
belief. No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. The words of your Savior exhort you to do so when he pointed at his mother and he said to Simon Peter, "This is your mother." That's your Savior telling you you need to venerate this woman as if she's your own mother.
I beg to differ on that one, but it's just a small.
Well, then you're disagreeing with Jesus and not me.
No, I'm not disagreeing that Jesus said that. Or what I'm questioning is the sentiment offers it in. There's a profound difference.
Okay, so you think that his words had a different meaning? Would you care to tell me what that is?
No, because this conversation is going to go down an avenue of fruitlessness. It's not really.
All right. Okay, but let me just say, I find it offensive when you say I go directly to God, I go directly to Jesus, because by doing so you're implying that I don't. We don't worship anyone else besides Jesus. We venerate the saints, we adore the saints, but we don't worship them. Okay, so let me just I go directly to Jesus too. All right. Let me just put that out there, and we can let it drop if you want. That's fine. We can agree to disagree.
That's fair enough.
I do want to say I wasn't trying to put that forth. I'm sorry if you got that. I mean, if you feel like that's the way you want to go and all that, I think, you know, if it's what you want to do it. That's where I'm at. I'm not one of these type of people that have this big old hang up on Catholics or Orthodox Church. I figure if people believe in Jesus and what he did, that's all it takes. And I know people see conflict in that, but it is what it is.
Just remember that before the two of you call Catholics and Orthodox idolaters, you would not know the message of Jesus Christ if we hadn't carried it for 2,000 years. All right, we came first, plain and simple. Mic drop.
Well, I didn't say that. I didn't.
Like that Martin Luther did come and correct a lot of mistakes too. I could say mic drop too.
Martin Luther is a fucking heretic, and he should have been burned.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's okay. Well, I apologize for bringing this up because you had told me that there was a profound difference between Eastern Orthodoxy and RCC, but I think that there's probably not as much difference as I had thought there might be. So had I known that there's more similarity than dissimilarity, I probably wouldn't have gone down this road because, like I said, my point isn't to divide with people, Roman Catholics or Catholics in general, whoever. They believe what they believe, and my ministry is not to go, tear down Catholics. That's God's work. God will correct and instruct as He sees fit. It's not my area of expertise.
What is the difference between Martin Luther and a guy like Arius? Okay, we were given the fullness of God's revelation through the ministry of Jesus Christ. Who has the authority to change that? Who has the authority to make revisions? Say, oh, I don't like this. Let's tweak it here and there.
I just got to bridle my tongue. I'm not going to go further down this.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't offend you because there are too many issues with Catholicism that I take point with. I think are anti-biblical, they're heretical, that are absolutely iniquitous and evil, that they go contrary to what the Bible says. And we're going to go down the road of nitpicking it.
Jesus freak, my faith has remained unchanged since before the Bible was written. My faith is 300 years older than the Bible itself.
Okay, well, I asked you to articulate 5 things, and that's fine. I mean, I'm not questioning what you believe or what you do. All I was telling you is what I understood. So I'm just...
All right, fair enough.
I'm not arguing what you're saying. I don't... Technically, I don't even know what you believe, other than you believe that veneration of the saints isn't... what I take from this conversation is you believe that I have a different understanding of what veneration of the saints is. I'm willing to say, okay, fine. We have a difference of understanding what veneration.
You do, because you think it includes worship. You said the words. You said this.
I know when I hear the Virgin Mary, when I drive by. Let me tell you, this has nothing to do with you, so don't take any offense. I can drive right down the road to a huge place. It's called Shrine of the Christ, and it's an amazing place. You can walk, and there's like 40-something life-size bronze statues that take you from Jesus' last dinner, and you walk down this fancy, nice path, and you see Jesus being nailed this day. He's at the Garden of Gethsemane. He's being nailed, lifted up the cross. The resurrection is beautiful. But you know what bothers me the most about it? Out front, the biggest statue in the front is of Mary. The grandest statue they have is of Mary, and that makes me want to puke. That Mary is so on display as there are Catholics out there, not you necessarily. I don't know.
Sure.
You say no. They absolutely venerate her in the way of worship. They adore because they take from the RCC's teaching that she is to be exalted above, but they will tell you, oh, but no, I don't praise her more than Jesus, but yet they're praying to her, and there is a disgusting level of love and adoration for her that I think is unhealthy to a Christian faith. I push away from that. I want nothing to do that. That's why I don't say in a way to offend you or any Catholic. I say I don't go to anybody but Jesus, because that's what the Scripture says.
Can I respond?
It's a personal thing. So that's,
can I respond?
That's clarifies. Go ahead.
Can I respond? Okay, so we call Mary the Theotokos. From the Greek, it literally means God bringer. We don't call her God. We call her the God bringer. Now let me ask you a question. You, Jesus Freak, as a man, you have a mother, correct? Do you have a mother? Okay. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Okay. So how would you feel if I talked shit about your mom? Answer. Just tell me that. Would it make you feel good? Would it make you feel bad? Would it make you dislike me as a person? Yes. No. Maybe.
Equally as offended if you talk crap about my brother or my father or my mother. She doesn't get a special place above my father or my brother.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But you would think you would definitely have a lower opinion of me. You probably wouldn't feel as warm and fuzzy about me if I was sitting around talking smack about your mama, right? Right?
No, you're building a false premise here, though. I'm not talking.
Okay. So hold on. Hold on. You ranted for 10 minutes. You ranted for 10 minutes. Give me my time, sir. Give me my time, sir, please.
You've been talking a lot, so don't pretend you haven't.
Now look. If you worship Jesus and you accept that he's going to judge you, how do you think he's going to feel about the fact that you think adoring his mother is something disgusting?
Once again, I did not insult her. Secondly, I clearly showed an example of people that adore her above and beyond Jesus, and I think Jesus himself would be bothered by people that seem to kneel before her. I see people.
Nobody adores her above and beyond Jesus. Nobody adores her above and beyond Jesus. Maybe okay, fine, fair enough. Maybe some Haitian voodoo rituals, or maybe there's a tradition somewhere where they actually do worship Mary directly. Okay, maybe there is, but it's definitely not Roman Catholicism, and it's definitely not Eastern Orthodoxy. That's a misunderstanding.
Okay, we'll just leave it at that. That's fine.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
I myself, I'll say this. I'm not saying that Jesus Freak or yourself is doing this, but I usually try to stay away from the whole, is there something wrong with this church, or is this denomination over here doing something incorrect, or yada, yada, yada. And like I said, as far as I'm concerned, as long as people follow Jesus and what he did, that's it for me.
You wouldn't even have the opportunity to follow Jesus if it was not for the Orthodox tradition and, to a lesser extent, the Catholic tradition. You wouldn't have heard his message. You wouldn't have read his Bible. You wouldn't know his name. We carried it for 2,000 years, and then you bastardized it all to hell.
But
me?
Okay, yeah, you're... Okay, I'm not going to get... It's too much. I would just say this. Every religion is worthy of discussion. Every belief is worthy of discussion. I think it's important if someone is going down the wrong path to actually talk about it. There are faiths out there and religions out there that are completely wrong, Brett. And did he leave or did you kick him, Brett?
I didn't kick him.
Okay.
He's been having internet issues.
Well, maybe he'll come back.
Okay.
If I can throw my 2 cents in, I think I'm kind of with Jdubs here. I think what he's kind of missing, what Jdubs is saying, is that you can respect your mother, but you're not respecting her to the point where it almost seems like you're worshiping her, right? I think that's the very simplest way to put it. Is that, but he's right. Like even if they're not actually worshiping her the same way as Jesus, if they respect her to the point where it almost seems like they're worshiping her. I love my mom to death. I respect her really, really well. I think most of us respect our mother a hell of a lot. But to come to the point where we're not worshiping her, we're not saying her name all the time and all that stuff. And that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, I agree. That's where I'm going. I've actually witnessed people kneel before the Pope and kiss his ring. You would never catch me doing that. Not in a million years would I kneel before the Pope and kiss his ring, or would I kneel before him. Because there are people that do venerate the Pope above and beyond what he should be venerated. And I think they do the same thing with Mary, and that's all I was talking about. There's this unnatural, ungodly desire amongst some people to put this holiness upon these people, these human beings, and I think it takes credit away from Jesus. And that's really all I was trying to offer. Nothing more, you know. I mean, And I will say this: Christopher said, "Oh well, we would even have this truth if it wasn't for Orthodoxy and the RCC." True to a degree, but it's possible that the RCC was able to corrupt it for thousands of years or a long, long period of time, and then things needed to be corrected. Example would be transubstantiation. Another would be the infallibility of the Pope. The Church teaches that the Pope is infallible, that he can't make mistakes, that everything he does is decreed by God. And we know that the popes have disagreed with themselves and other popes and overturned certain dogmatic issues like baptism and such. So if one pope says that baby baptism is required, but the next pope says, nope, baby baptism isn't required, which pope was wrong? One of them's wrong. You can't both be infallible. So that's the problem I have. Yes, there's a rich history with the Catholic Church. And I'm not saying all of it's wrong, but there are some areas of it that are extremely wrong. And what's interesting is Christopher told me in conversations that the RCC has a lot of heresy in it. Well, I'm pointing out what I believe is some of the mistakes of it, but he doesn't seem to agree with what I'm saying. That's fine. He's entitled to his opinion. I'm not upset.
Well, I
don't
think
understand what heresy he believes exists within the church. That's why I asked him to kind of, enumerate upon that, to expound upon it, to tell me what the differences were, and maybe in the future conversation.
Mr. Freak, unfortunately, it appears as though he's extremely irritated. He just sat there and wrote on Skype that he's pissed. So I'm gonna have to shut off the podcast. And you can try talking to him if you like, or I'll try talking to him. I'll be honest with you, I had no idea that we were going to get into a conversation like this. I just wanted to do my usual. We sit down and we just chat and have a good time. I wasn't interested in, like comparing religions and who's got the biggest, And I know that you were not trying to do that either, Mr. Freak, but I don't think he's accustomed to our podcast.
I didn't say anything rude and offensive to him other than...
I don't feel like you did either, but he's upset.
I was talking to him, and I always thought that he was of the persuasion that was highbrow enough to be able to have differences without being angry. Obviously, I've learned a new lesson now. I started getting a tinge of, ooh, he's getting pissed off. So that's why I said a couple of times, maybe I'll just let it go. Let's not talk, I end it. So obviously he's upset. I can't control how he feels. I'm still not angry with him.
I think he's an awesome guy. I think that he's not used to us, and we're apparently not used to whatever he's got going on his religious bring. But like I said before, I'm not interested in comparing who's got the coolest religion or who's got the coolest denomination, and I feel bad that we might have offended him in some kind of way, and I'd just like to turn off the podcast and see if I can talk things out with him, Jezuzfreak, we'll do another podcast sometime. I enjoy your company, Mouzie, and everybody else, but, we got a friend right now who's a little upset, so let's shut this shit down.
Well, if we can, before we leave, I think he felt as if he was being he wasn't being represented correctly.
Well, I don't know exactly how that would have been the case. I was describing myself and how I just go directly to Jesus. Some of these saints that everybody's throwing out there, I don't know who some of these people are. I know John the Baptist is. I know who Mary is, obviously. But I don't know. I just when I pray, man, it's just like, I don't go through all these different people. I'm just like, hey, Jesus, if you're listening to me today and you're not too busy rocking and rolling like you usually do, hey, I could use some help today. That's pretty much how it works for the Keane. Are you still there, Mr. Freak?
Yeah, I was just texting him. I just said, I'm not sure what you're upset about. My apologies. I don't want to be upset. I usually choose my words very carefully so that way I'm not saying, hey, you're a bad thing or whatever. So, yeah. We'll get to learn one another's personality.
Now, before you assholes out there decide to go ahead and make memes and say, "Oh, look, Jezuzfreak Brett Keane stabbed him in the back" and all that, no, we're gonna contact him and we're gonna work things out as friends do. It was just disagreement, and we're all big enough men where we can handle shit. So don't go fucking making your Adobe Photoshop memes just so quick. Mr. Freak, every time I have a disagreement with a friend, they turn it into the, oh, Brett Keane's a backstabbing people situation. So I'm going to get out of this and just fix this shit. All right?
Well, you know what, Brett? Skype me first.
Okay.
In a minute.
All right. Okay.
All right. Thanks for.
I guess I'll see you guys later.
Love, and God bless, folks.
Feel better, Case.
You too.